मजा आएगा देखने में लेकिन। Good evening, students. This is थोड़ा काम कर लेते हैं. This is Emancipation Edutech Private Limited, and myself Subir Chakravarti, and this is Mr. Ranjan Kumar. And
good evening, sir.
Good evening, and we have Abhishek sir from Cyber Creator, and he will deliver the things about this topic to you all. So I actually welcome Mr. Abhishek from Cyber Creator to join us and do the needful. Abhishek.
Thank you so much, sir, for the warm introduction. Hello, guys. I'm excited to see so many faces over here. You know, it's really amazing to have you guys here. So today we are going to do an amazing webinar on Node.js Essentials. So if you allow me, I'll just share my screen and we can get started with the show. So are you guys excited?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's cool.
I want a interactive session, huh? Therefore, I have not muted all. This is an interactive session, and I want you all to interact with Mr. Abhishek as much as you can. This session should be interactive, है ना? I want an interaction with all the students with Mr. Abhishek. Mr. Abhishek has a very good experience and expertise of the thing that we are delivering to you all. The rest thing he will explain what he does, from where he is from, and what are the things he is actually doing. So over to you, Mr. Abhishek. Start.
Thank you so much. So guys, so the first webinar is Introduction to Node.js WS001. I am your trainer for today. I'm Abhishek. I'm an entrepreneur, a software engineer, and a mentor. So I basically help startups to reach scalability. So that's my introduction. And I think in this session, we are going to cover something known as Node.js. So you might have heard your friends saying, okay, I developed an application in Node.js. Do you know that game that we are playing? It works on Node.js. Actually, Node.js has been powering a lot of technologies these days. So we are going to actually learn what actually Node.js is. So if you allow me, so we can get started. So firstly, we are going to see what we are going to learn today. What is Node.js? The Node.js architecture, how the Node.js has been built, what is the underlying architecture that is covered within the Node.js technology, how we are going to install Node.js, choosing the right IDE, writing your first Node.js application, then deploying your first Node.js application using ngrok. So these are the things that we are going to cover in this webinar session. So the first thing being, what is Node.js? So what's all this fuss about? Everyone keeps talking so much about Node.js. Why Node.js? So we are going to answer these questions in just any moment now. So moving forward, what is Node.js? So Node.js is an open source JavaScript runtime environment. So it's basically built on Chrome's V8 engine. So the Chrome's V8 engine was developed by Ryan Dahl and his team back in 2009, which came out being so phenomenal that it has been empowering a lot of technologies. Also, the Chrome browser that we are using, it's also being used in that as well. So Node.js lets you build fast and scalable applications. So when you're using the Node.js technology, you can write applications in a very fast manner. You can write high-level languages in a very short-term period, and you can also build scalable applications. So when I say scalable, it means that you can just scale your applications to a large audience without having to bother about a lot of things in your technology. So Node.js utilizes an event-driven non-blocking IO model. So basically, it runs an asynchronous process. So whatever request you're sending to the application, it doesn't need to get blocked and processed. It doesn't wait for other requests to get processed. It's all asynchronous. So Node.js is lightweight, efficient, and excellent for data-intensive real-time applications. A lot of data analytics applications use Node.js. So even the data analytics provided by Google, it also uses Node.js as its underlying architecture. So the last and not the least point, so Node.js can run across multiple devices. So it can run on your mobile browser, it can run on your Android TV, it can run on your browser, web browser, anywhere it can run. So what it is that actually makes Node.js tick? So the Node.js architecture. So as I said before that Node.js is basically based on JavaScript's V8 engine, the Chrome V8 engine. So what actually is the V8 engine? So we are going to learn a bit about V8 engine. So when you're writing code in Node.js, basically you're writing code in JavaScript that uses ECMAScript format. So you're using the ECMAScript structure and syntaxes, and you're writing the Node.js code. So the JavaScript V8 engine, what it does is that it takes that JavaScript code, it compiles it into the C and C++ machine level code. So it takes the code that you're writing in JavaScript, it converts it to C++ code, then it sends to the Node.js binder. So the Node.js binder then converts this code to a machine level format understanding code, where the machine can actually understand the code, the low level language that machine understands, the zero and the ones. So this is the Node.js binder's job. Then we have the event loop model. So whenever a request comes, we put it in an event queue. Then there is something known as the livuv library, which allows all this asynchronous processes to happen. And when we are putting the request in the event queue, it goes, all the blocking operations, it goes to a worker thread. And it so what happens is that none of the requests are blocked on the other requests. So when request comes, it gets processed and the callback happens. You get the response. So this is how the Node.js architecture works. So moving forward, getting started with Node.js. So how we are going to install Node.js? So the first step is using the official site. I have mentioned the official link here as well. So you guys can just go to your browser and hit Node.js, and you can download Node.js from the Google web, from the official website. So what I'll do is that I'll show you how you can do it. I'll come to the browser, I'll type Node.js. I'll come to nodejs.org. Here I can see the LTS latest stable version for my operating system. So I'm just going to hit and click on download. Then it's going to download the Node.js package for me. So I want you guys to take a minute and download Node.js as well.
Abhishek sir, I cannot see your, I cannot see your screen sharing.
Okay, 1 second. I'll just
Like you are downloading and all that process I cannot see.
Okay.
And now it's visible.
I'm really sorry. So I'll again come to the
It's
Google
okay. It's okay.
search engine. I'll type Node.js here. I'll come to the official Node.js website. Then I'll download the latest stable version for my supported operating system, which is Mac OS. Just click on download and it will download the package for you. So some of you guys might be on Windows, some of you guys might be on Linux. So you can download the version that suits you, the LTS version. So there is one more way of installing Node.js, that is through the Node version manager. So the Node version manager, we'll talk about that in a bit. So what is the Node version manager actually? So let's say that you're working in an application that uses version 8 of Node. Then what if you are working on another application that uses version 10 of Node? How we are going to manage that? So this is where Node version manager comes into play. So Node version manager lets you keep various environments for nodes. Like you can have multiple versions of Node.js running on your system, all in an isolated fashion, and nothing breaks out. You can just use Node version manager and switch the Node version according to your project's requirements. So you can download the Node version manager from the following links for Ubuntu and Mac. I've given the link here, And for Windows, I've given the link here. So I think if anyone from Emancipation team can forward these links to the Zoom chat, it will be really helpful.
Abhishek, what happened?
So can anyone share these links in the Zoom
Yes,
chat?
yes,
So
yes, yes,
if
yes.
anyone wants to have
Yes, chat is
Node.js.
but you can and start sending those. No
Okay,
problem.
I'll do it. 1 second. So if you guys want to install Node version manager and then install Node, so these are the links. You can follow these tutorials and get started with NVM. So guys, give me a heads up when you're done installing Node.js. You can just send. Where is it? Okay. Okay, you guys can just go to the Zoom chat participant list and you can just click on raise hand so that I know that everyone's done with installing Node.js.
Uh, if you have logged in with your system, laptop or desktop, please try to install these things, because actually we want that the things that is being explained by Mr. Abhishek to be done directly like by you all. It would be very beneficial for you all if you think do those things live. So please try to do those things live. Okay. So please take time, because we are actually allocated 2 hours, and we have allocated because we want to have some hands-on experience on the topic as well. Actually, we don't want to have this webinar as a seminar. We want this as a class, an interactive session where you can easily ask a person who is actually is doing work on this platform. Okay, so please try to do the needful.
Okay, I can see a few hands. Come on, guys.
Where is the button to raise hand? Mm,
So you guys can just go to the participant list and click on raise hand. So if anyone is facing any difficulty, they can share their queries as well. We'll try to resolve them.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, here this is Ujjwal Kumar.
Hi, Ujjwal. Can you please tell me what issue are you facing?
Sir, there is showing administer Windows PowerShell is taking so much time. Actually, I'm installing this before.
NVM.
Yes.
Okay, so don't install the NVM. Go to the official website and download the LTS. So Windows has these tendencies. Sometimes it can be, really difficult to get things done right in Windows. I can see a lot of hands being raised. So, guys, I think there are a few people who are left. So, please get this done quick. And till then, we can have some icebreaker questions. So, if anyone would like to say that what it is about technology that inspires them to learn technology, it'll be really fun. So, who would like to go first? Come on, guys.
For me, it is Sophia the robot.
Okay. So, what is it about Sophia that inspires you to learn technology?
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Okay, that's pretty amazing.
I feel very inspired to use technology because I think it has a very high potential. It has a high potential to change the world.
That's an amazing answer. So, anyone else? Come on, guys.
I wanted to learn web development and Android app development. That's why I'm doing this.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. So, I can promise you that by the end of this session, you'll have an application, a web application deployed. So, that's some progress on that way. So, anyone who wants to go next? Okay, I think a lot of people have installed Node.js. So guys, if you are still installing Node.js, probably you can post some message in the group, like in the Zoom chat, or else we can get started and you guys can follow up.
So I was pressing next, 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 and then uh, Windows PowerShell opened up, and it is showing that it is installing Chocolatey. After that, now it is showing it is installing Python.
Okay, so I think it's also dependent on your network. Are you on a good network connectivity, Sudhanshu?
It is good enough, I think. It is actually
Okay.
my phone's hotspot. So
Okay, no issues, Sudhanshu. So we will wait for you. Like it shouldn't take much time. So as for the other guys, I think they are done with the installation. So I can still see a lot of people. They have installed, but they haven't raised their hands on this participant list. So guys, please raise your hands as well on the participant list so that we can know that everyone is done with the installation part. Okay, guys, I think it's due time that we move on to the next phase. So, if anyone else is facing some issue while installing Node.js, you can post a message in the Zoom chat and we'll try to resolve it. So, till then, we'll just get started with the next portion of this session. So every artist needs the right set of tools, and every developer needs the right set of IDEs. So let's talk about IDEs. I'll share a list of my personal favorites. So you can choose the one which best suits you. Visual Studio Code, it's my favorite. Then there's Sublime Text. Then there's Atom, and then there's the good old Notepad. So I hope that you guys have already installed some IDE that you can code on, either Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, Atom, or Notepad. Please let me know if you don't have an IDE, so that I can show you that how to install an IDE as well. Can you guys just let me know in the chat that you guys have installed IDE? Some IDE, any of this, Visual Studio Code, Sublime Text, Atom,
Yes.
VS Code. Okay, please let me know in the group chat so that I can know everyone has it. Okay, I got the text from Aparachita, then Akib, then Ashish. Okay, Sudhanshu. Okay, Ahan has all the IDs. Nice. So is there anyone who doesn't have ID installed on their system? Okay. Okay. Okay, I see a lot of responses. So guys, can please everyone confirm that whether if they have ID, not if you don't have any ID, probably you guys can use Notepad for writing the code. Okay, guys, so we'll move to the next phase of this webinar, which is writing my first Node.js application. So all hands on deck. So I want you guys to open your terminal. In Windows, I think you have PowerShell. In Linux, you can use your terminal, and on Mac, you can use your item or any terminal that you have, the default terminal. Or you can also use a Visual Studio Code's terminal across all platforms if you have Visual Studio Code installed. So I'll come to my terminal. Okay. So guys, do you see my terminal? Can you see my terminal, or like it's not visible? Okay, I'll share it again. Stop
Yes,
to.
sir. That was visible.
Okay, it's visible, right? Okay, so I'll create a directory, Node.js -webinar. I'll cd into this directory. The first command that I'm going to run, it's npm init. So npm is node package manager. So npm allows you to install multiple libraries for your application. So I'm going to give this a package name of Node.js webinar. The version I'm going to give 1.0.0. Description for webinar. Entry point will be app.js for me. Test command, I don't need any. Get repository, we won't give as of now. Keywords, again, I won't give. Author, I'll give my name. License, okay. So now we can see a package.json file over here. So now we are going to start writing our code. We'll navigate to this folder. So I'll just click on open folder. Or I'll just do VS Code. Okay. So we have an empty folder with package.json. So as I said before, also what I'll do is that I'll use VS Code's terminal. And I'll create a new file. I'll name this file as app. Yes.
Sir, can you repeat what init command was that?
It's npm init, node package manager init. So it basically states that you're initializing a node project. So you'll have to run that command and you'll have to fill a few things, bunch of details. Then you'll get a package.json file where we'll be installing all our dependencies. So whatever dependency you'll be installing for this application, it'll go to package.json. So for that, we'll be using a -- save flag. We'll come to that. So guys, what we can do is that you guys can.
Error.
Okay. So who is it? Can you please tell me your name? Sudhanshu.
Sir, I'm Sudhanshu, and
Okay,
it is
Sudhanshu.
saying npm is not recognized as the name of.
Okay, Sudhanshu, can you please share your screen? So what I'll do is that I'll stop sharing my screen. Can you please share your screen quickly?
Okay, sir. Mm,
Okay. Okay. So can you do a node space -- version here? Okay. So go to
Node
the
is not
PowerShell. So
installed.
okay, I think your Node.js is not yet installed, or it's still under installation. Is it so?
I think, sir, but it is taking too very much a very long time. I don't know what.
So did you try installing it from the official LTS exe installer, exe or MSI?
MSI here it is.
Okay, you tried installing it from here,
I
right?
downloaded. Hmm.
Okay. In this case, can you please terminate the installer and run it as an administrator? Run it with the administrator privileges.
Okay, so I'll have to open another window
Yes.
of PowerShell and
You don't need PowerShell. You don't need PowerShell. Just close PowerShell and close the other window. Then go to, I think it will be in your downloads folder, right?
yes,
Close both the tabs, close this as well. Okay, click on the download, or is it already downloaded? Okay, click on this, click on
already
OK.
downloaded.
Don't click on OK, click on cancel, just click on show in downloads.
Show in downloads.
Or go to your downloads folder.
It is
Right click on it,
there.
then do run as administrator.
Okay.
Click on cancel, right click, then run as administrator. Click on finish, right click, run as admin.
Where is the
Okay.
option?
Windows doesn't give this option anymore. Give access to. Can you click on give access to? I want to see what.
Give it-
Okay, no. It's not required. Okay, just click on install. Just click on install. Let's see what happens.
Usually when I install something else, that option is there.
Okay.
Uh,
Click on
Repair or
change.
change. What?
Click on change. Let's see what features you install. Click on next. Automatically install. Go back. Okay, I think you just did next. I wanted to see the options it was providing. No issues.
Okay.
Okay, click on finish. Do Windows R. Windows R.
Windows R.
Yes. Write CMD. Write node here. Okay, it's working. Amazing. Do exit. So now you can use this terminal, to execute your code. So okay, do Control C. Control C.
Where?
Open the terminal. Open the terminal the same fashion. Okay. Then write an exit function. Exit. Make it a function. You can pick the command from Zoom chat as well.
Making it a function. How to do that? Like this?
I have
Or
given the command in Zoom chat.
okay.
So Sudhanshu, are you facing any issue? I think your window is frozen. Is it so?
Network issue.
Okay, network issue. So what you can do is that you can, just close this terminal and start a new terminal and don't execute anything. I'll tell you what exactly has to be done. I think Sudhanshu got dropped off. Is it so? Okay. So guys, was everyone else able to do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, amazing. Okay. Probably you guys can share reactions as well from here, like this. Okay, Ashish. So I think Sudhanshu got dropped off. So what we'll do is that we'll wait for another few seconds for him. If he joins again, well and good. Okay, so guys, let's move forward with the session. So I hope that you guys have your IDEs open. I'll open my IDE. Okay, so just open the folder that you created and initialized with npm init, and inside of that create a file known as app.js. So inside the app.js and your terminal open, so we are going to install a few npm packages. So what I'm going to do is that npm I'm going to install express. We'll talk about these packages soon. Then I'm going to install body parser, these two packages, followed by a --save flag. So what --save flag will do is that it will put these libraries in your package.json. So the next time you're migrating your application to a different system or a different environment, you can just run npm I again and all the packages will be automatically installed. So if I hit refresh, okay, we can see that the dependencies are installed now. So now coming to app.js, we are going to initialize the dependencies. So I'm going to write a comment initialize depths. Then I'm going to define a variable for express. Then I'm going to require express. So guys, express is a library that allows you to make web servers in a very fast fashion. So you don't have to use the HTTP module, which is the core Node.js module for writing web servers. So a lot of abstraction layers are there in Express, and it allows you to build web servers in no time. So we have initialized Express. So now we are going to initialize body parser. Require body parser. So what body parser does is that, so Node is basically, as I said before also, it has this event loop model. So it continuously keeps on listening to events. So whenever the request is being sent to this Express web server, so it will receive it, but it has to extract the request body part from the request that has been sent. So that request object that will be passed, it will have a body which will contain all the payload that is being passed to the web server, all the request payload, all the data that you're sending to the web server. It will be in that request.body portion. So body parser will allow us to pass this request and fetch the request.body parameter from the payload. So the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to initialize the app by calling an express function. So this initializes our web server. Then I'm going to use app.use, and I'm going to use body parser as a middleware. So I'm going to do body parser dot URL encoded. Then I'm going to give extended true. I'm going to close this up. Then we are going to set the templating engine. So the templating engine will allow you to render the client end through the Node.js web server. So few of the templating engines to name are Ejs, Jade, and Handlebars. There are a lot of other templating engines. So there are other frameworks like Meteor, which uses Blaze templating, or React as its templating engine. So that's there. So we are going to stick to Ejs for this webinar. So I'm going to do app.set view engine. I'm going to set it to Ejs. Then to deliver the static files, which will be our style sheets, images, or whatever files that we want to put, let's say some JavaScript library, jQuery. So for this, we are going to set the static path. So I'm going to do app.use express dot static. Then I'll put it in a public directory, which we'll be creating now. So I've given the directory name public. So as we can see that the public directory doesn't exist here. So what we'll do is that we'll go to create a new folder and we'll create a new public directory. So now we'll go and we'll make the Ejs template. So for this, what I'll do is that I'll create a views directory, because it will be read from the views directory. So what I'll do is that I'll create another folder, views, and inside this folder I'll create a file, index.ejs. Okay,
Sir,
sorry. Yes.
sir, do we need to install EJS also?
No, we don't need to install Ejs. So Ejs is a viewing engine. It's if we wanted to install handlebars or Jade, then we might have, had to do it. But by default, Node allows you to have Ejs templating. So I don't think it's required.
Okay, sir.
So inside the views directory, you'll have to create a file known as index.ejs. So inside this, what we are going to do is that we are going to write all the templating code. So I'm going to start with HTML. Then I'm going to close HTML. Okay, it's already closed. Sorry. Okay, then head. Okay, we have head. Then we have title. Then we are going to have some font styling. So I'll select one of my favorite font style sheets, which is Roboto. How I'm going to pick it is I'm going to show you. Just go to Google, Roboto Font. You guys can get any other font of your choice as well. Okay, I'll select this style. Then I'll get this link. So what I'll do is that I'll copy this link. Then I'll come back to the code. I'll paste the link here. So then after that, we are going to have a style sheet. So link href styles.css style sheet. So you guys can have various formatter plugins installed in VS Code as well. So what I did was that you guys have seen that I was writing code in a very shabby way, and then what I did was that in my laptop I just hit Option Shift and F, and everything got formatted. So these IDs they have these functionalities, these plugins that allow you to do it. So you can write your code, then with just few key combinations, you can just format your entire code. So that is there. This is one of the few things that I love about VS Code. So now we'll go and we'll write the body part. Body, then close it. Then I'll create a div. Let's give it a class name of container. Again, I'll close this. Let's give it a wonderful heading. My to-do application. So we are going to build a to-do application. So that's why let's give this a heading of my to-do app. Then we are going to create a div. Add task. Closing this div again. Then after this, we'll create a form. So this is this form will be interacting with our backend API that we are going to write in the Express web server. So we'll come to that in a bit. So let me just create the form first. So this is the API that we are going to hit first. It's called task add. So the method will be post, because we'll be sending a post request. Inside here, I'd like to create another div. I'll call this task input. Task input. Closing this div again. Okay. Okay. Inside this, I'll create an input field, input type text. Okay, formatting this again. Then we'll have a button here. Let's call this plus. So now coming here again. So now we are going to write the rest of the code in our web server. So the first API that we had been hitting to for adding the to-do list was /task/add. So we are going to create the route for that. So first of all, let's define some variables where we are going to hold the task. Since we are not using any database, so we are just going to do a CRD operation, create, read, and delete. We are not going to have any update operations as of now. So I'll create a hold data. I'll create an array. Let's have some, predefined tasks here. Finish homework by groceries. Okay, let's just have to have another variable which will hold our completed tasks. Let's call this go to gym. So now we'll be writing the API routes. API routes to add task. So we saw that we had kept the request method as post. So and that's why we'll be using app.post. We are calling the Express web server here, which we had already defined in line number 4. So inside of that, we are calling the post method. So I'll do app.post, then I'll give the API route, which was tasks add. And after that, I'll create an arrow function with the request and response as the param arguments. Then inside of this, I'll write all the logic. So firstly, we need to get the detail of the task that is meant to be added. So for that, what I'll do is that I'll create a variable known as new task. And from the request.body, because a request.body will be containing the payload that we are actually sending. So I'll do new task. So this will be the payload that we are actually sending. And if we can see that we have defined it here as well. So this payload will be identified with this classifier, which is new underscore task. So now we have it here. Now what I'll do is that I'll use task.push to push into the array. And I'll push the new underscore task. Then I'll do rest. I'll send in response and ask it to redirect to the root page. Again, I'll hit Option Shift F to format all my code. Now we have written the logic for the API task add, but we haven't written any web server logic to render the viewing engine. So let's do that. So for that, I'll come down and I'll do app.get, because when we are trying to fetch the root page, it's always a get request. I'll create another arrow function with request and response. Then I'll do rest dot render. I'll render it as the index page. Over here, I'll pass task and completed as 2 parameters. So now we have to start our application, and to do so, we'll have to ask it to listen to a particular port. So I'll use app.listen. I'll give the port number. Let's run it on port 3000. Then again, I'll create an arrow function. Then I'll say console.log. So guys, I'd like you all to install one more library, which is called NodeMon. And this library, I want you to install as with the global flag so that it can be accessible anywhere. So to do so, use npmi space nodemon, nodemon space -g. So -g stands for the global flag. So if I'm installing this library globally, it can be accessible throughout all the projects. And this is actually a development library, and it's a process manager. So it will really smooth out the next thing that we are going to do, which is instead of just using node app.js to run our application, we'll use nodemon app.js. And if we make any changes or if any error happens, this process manager, it will automatically restart our application. So guys, let me know if you faced any difficulty till this point. Can I have a few voices, please?
Sir, you are too quick.
Okay, I'm too quick. So what I'll do is that I'll be a little bit slow, and I'll just keep my screen on the shared mode so that you guys can take a look at the code and you guys can write it up. Let me know if you want me to go to the EJS portion, or what I'll do is that I'll create a split screen, and inside the split screen, so I'll open the index.ejs here, and I'll open the app.js here. Let me know if you want me to scroll down or up. So guys, just give me a heads up when you are done. You can just ping me on the chat box, or you can just unmute yourselves and you can say that you're done with this portion so that we can move on to the next portion.
Sir, please scroll down. Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome. So guys, please ping me once you are done. I hope that everyone is doing it, because I just see one or two people speaking out. And if you guys just drop a text in the chat box, it will be really wonderful, or a show of hands will be good as well. Okay, Anu Asta is done. Parachita and Ashish, they are done. Okay, Han is also done. So guys, let me know if you need more time. Okay, Rajkumar Shah is done. Ashish, he's done.
Hello, sir. Sir, can you show that screen?
Okay, I
So,
think 1 second. Okay, it's visible. Okay, Parachita has a question. Why do we need separate folder for index.js file and index.ejs file? So, Parachita, I think we don't have any index.js file. We just have index.ejs file. So EJS is
That
the
was a typo.
okay. So okay. So what exactly is your question, Parashita? Can you please?
Why do we need a view folder for it, for index.ejs?
Okay, so because the templating engine, it always looks out for a views folder because it knows that it has to render from that particular directory. That's why we need a views folder.
Okay, sir.
So guys, let me know if you want me to move up or down. So can you guys raise your hands in the participant list so that I can know who all are done? I can see Sudhanshu is back here. So Sudhanshu, were you able to solve your issue? Sudhanshu, I cannot hear you. I think you're trying to speak, but
So, uh,
probably you're still facing.
uh, I think it is node is installed.
Okay, node is installed. So Sudhanshu, so I'll quickly give you a status update that what we have done till now. So you can
Mm,
open your IDE, and inside your IDE, what you can do is that you can open up the terminal. So you were using VS Code, right? You told me.
yes, sir.
Okay, so in VS Code, what you can do is that you can go at the top, you can click on terminal, then you can open up a new terminal and you can run the command npm init. Or if you're not able to do it using VS Code, so just go to your command prompt. So after going to your command prompt, go to the directory which you have just created, the Node.js webinar directory or whatever directory, whatever name you have given to your directory, cd inside that directory, and then execute npm init. It should work.
Hello, hello,
Yes, Sudhanshu.
sir. May I share my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen, but I just need a confirmation from everyone else that they are done with writing the code. So guys, are you guys done with writing the code till this point? Can we help Sudhanshu out?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So what we'll do is that we'll quickly switch to Sudhanshu's screen and we'll help him, get to this point. So I'll just stop sharing my screen. Sudhanshu, you can share your screen now.
Mm,
Okay, Sudhanshu. Okay, amazing. It seems that you've reached out to this point. Uh, do enter. I can see a package name. Press enter or okay. Okay, give it a node-js space webinar or a node-js hyphen webinars. Space shouldn't be there. Sorry. Node-js hyphen js hyphen webinar. Press enter. Give the version code or it will take the default version as 1.0.0.
mm,
Press enter, no worries,
I
just
pressed.
press enter. Okay,
Oh,
and enter description for your application, what your application does. It helps you make a
no.
to-do list. Okay, okay. Entry point app.js, that's correct. Okay, press enter. We don't need this as of now. Press enter. We don't need this as well. Press enter again. Enter your name as the author. Okay. No issues, no issues. Press enter again. Press yes. Okay. This is Windows, right? So dir
Yes, sir.
should work over here. Do dir. Press enter. Okay, so I think we have the app.js, index.ejs, and package.json. So now can you open your IDE and quickly navigate to this folder?
I am in that folder, I think. Yes, sir.
Okay, can you please come to your IDE because I can still see your terminal only.
Okay.
Amazing, amazing. So now what you have to do is that you have to write the code that we have written till this point. And if you
Mhm.
have any queries, you can just shoot out your questions and I'll be happy to resolve it. So firstly, you need to get the directory structure right. So what I'll do is that I'll share my screen. I'll quickly explain you what has to be done and you can just speed yourself up to this point. And when you're done, you can let us know. Okay. I'll just share my screen back
Okay,
again.
sir.
Uh, desktop 2. Okay, can you see my screen? So
Yes, sir.
the first thing that you'll have to do is that you'll have to install the dependencies. So go back to your terminal and do npm i express and space body parser. So these are the two commands that you'll have to run.